um, Make-A-Wish Iowa YouTube page, but there's a volunteer video playlist where we upload these to. So if you ever want to see our past videos, that's a good chance to get to view those, but you will have to ask me for the link. Okay, well, let's get the party started. So thanks for joining us this evening. While we wait for a few others to log in, please take note of the suggestions on the screen that you've been looking at. This helps with our bandwidth and our connection. You can help with this by turning off your camera and muting yourself just while we're presenting. If you want to unmute yourself at any time to ask questions or during the question breaks that we have designated throughout the presentation, feel free to do so. We love to hear from you. And then to add a question into the chat feature, you'll see the picture on the screen that kind of shows you how to do that. You'll go up to the little speech bubble looking icon at the top of your screen, and then the chat will open and you can type in your message and hit the little paper airplane icon at the bottom of the screen to send your question to us. Questions, comments, anything you can throw in there and we will see it. All righty, let's get to the next slide here. I can remember. Oh, there we go. Okay. All righty. Well, welcome to Wish Wisdom, everyone, and thanks for choosing to join us this evening. We love connecting with our volunteers and seeing everyone. Wish Wisdoms are designed to go through different topics related to volunteering with Make-A-Wish Iowa, and we do these on a bi-monthly schedule on the second Tuesday of every month. This month, we will be focusing on Make-A-Wish, a Make-A-Wish all-time favorite, which is Disneyland, Disney World, and Give Kids the World. And as you know, we always send out a feedback survey after these Wish Wisdoms, and this was one of the topics that we got a lot of requests for. So we're kind of excited to share our knowledge with you about this. We will have 2 question breaks during the presentation that you can utilize to ask questions or share helpful tips you have used as a Wish granter. And for those of you just logging on, if you have questions during the presentation, just pop those in the chat and we will do our best to get those answered. And with that, let's get right into it. Okay, so as we all strive towards the same goal of granting wishes for children with critical illnesses, it's important to keep the mission, the vision, and the values of the organization at the forefront of what we do. Together, we create life-changing wishes for children with critical illnesses. That is our mission statement. Our vision is to grant the wish of every eligible child. And our values, of course, are we always put the wish kid first. We deliver life-changing work. We are a diverse group of people working towards a common goal. We are honest, transparent, and respectful, and we are bold, imaginative, and creative. All righty. And the folks you're seeing on the screen are all of the Make-A-Wish Iowa staff. As we go through these, you may recognize some of the names and faces you've worked with. I will quickly go through each of their names and positions starting at the top left-hand corner of the slide. So that is Sarah, our president and CEO, and then Morgan, our volunteer wish discovery and relations manager, Allison, our intake specialist, Greg, our director of mission, Anna, our wish creation manager, Terry, our director of finance, Brittany, a wish specialist, Elizabeth, a wish specialist, Holly, a wish specialist, Peyton, a wish specialist, Bill, a wish specialist. And I will say our wish specialists plan all of the wishes. So that's why we have to have so many of them and they all do great work. Kaylee, our wish approval specialist, Cassidy, our events manager, Carol, our director of philanthropic giving, Chelsea, our manager of key partners, Megan, our donor and projects manager, Allie, operations and data coordinator, Natalie, director of revenue, and then myself, Casey, our volunteer engagement coordinator. The staff members you see on the screen with the red stars next to their pictures are the faces and voices you will be hearing from tonight. So that is myself, Morgan, and Elizabeth. Okay, and so this map that you're seeing on the screen is our volunteer region map. So Make-A-Wish Iowa has split the state of Iowa into 11 different regions, and you can see those 11 different regions identified on this map. A lot of you will be familiar with the region names from our Wish Wednesday emails that come out every Wednesday to show you what Wish kids are waiting to meet with Wish granters in your area. I will say, if you live in the Dubuque area and you want to see what's going on in Cedar Valley or Cedar Rapids, you can certainly do that. You don't always have to stick to your own region that you live in. You can explore around and grant wishes in other regions as well. But this gives you a good idea of what your home base is. Okay, and then we have some announcements for you tonight. So, a few weeks ago, actually last week, you would have seen an email come out about a Wish Granter Recruitment Challenge. So, right now, we are inspiring our current Wish Granters to help us recruit Wish Granters throughout the state of Iowa. And we provided you materials. Within that email, there was a Wish Granter recruitment flyer. There was our new volunteer recruitment video, which is really exciting. And then also we put the region map in there. And please use those materials to send to other people you might feel interested in wish granting. Obviously, we grant wishes for children throughout the entire state of Iowa, which means we also need wish granters throughout the entire state of Iowa. The Wish Granter Recruitment Challenge ends on October 5th, and those of you that recruit other wish granters to us will get a little prize at the end. It is a gift card of either grocery or gas or coffee shops because those three are all very necessary things in life. And then I'm going to pass it over to Morgan to do the next few.
Yes. So we also are having a couple of wish related changes happening. So the first one is our Disney World. So not Disneyland, but Disney World. The days for our Disney World wishes are changing. So previously it was 6 days and 5 nights. And starting at the new year, so January of 2024, it will be 7 days and 6 nights for those wishes. We also are going to be having some changes. You'll be seeing that shortly on our Wish Wednesday emails. There'll be a section at the bottom of announcements from the volunteer team. So it will be things like what I just mentioned with the Disney World changes, some enhancement ideas for the previous or for the next month, I mean. It might also have information about wish delivery, wish granters being needed, other things like that. So keep an eye on the bottom of your Wish Wednesday emails. That'll be coming soon. And then also, your emails that you receive from the volunteer team will look a little different. Coming up here, I will be leaving on maternity leave in the next month in the middle end of October. So you'll be getting more emails from Allison, our intake specialist, and from Casey while I'm gone. And then when I return, Casey will be leaving on maternity leave, and you will see more information from me if you are recruiting people or have questions about that. You'll be getting emails from me on that end of things. So let us know if you have questions. There'll be more information coming out about that too, but just wanted to put a quick plug in for those items while we've got you.
All righty. And then the last couple here. So we have been working on updating our volunteer handbook. So that will be coming out very soon. So look out for that. We'll be sending it out through email. And then you'll notice also in that handbook that we have just some updated requirements as to what it means to stay active as a volunteer with Make-A-Wish Iowa. So it has always been historically updating your conflict of interest form annually. and then your background check every 3 years. And now we are also including engaging in at least one wish per year. That could mean helping with a wish discovery visit, a wish delivery visit, or helping with an entire wish completely. So those will be the new measurements of staying active as a volunteer for us. All righty. All right, moving on to mission moment, my favorite slide of the night. During each Wish Wisdom, we like to share a recent mission moment or wish that took place through our organization. So during the month of August, Make a Wish Iowa granted 33 wishes, and we were lucky enough to grant a room redo wish for 3-year-old Isaac, who has been diagnosed with leukemia. Isaac wished to have a room redo for a movie room in his basement. His wish consisted of his basement getting new paint, new carpet, a sofa, 2 recliners, a popcorn machine, as you can see, he was very excited about, and some other new accessories for the room to truly feel like a fun movie room. Isaac stayed at his grandma and grandpa's house during the week of the room redo and got to come home to a total surprise. Mom said the kids were so excited when they came home and spent all night hanging out in their new room, which is very cute. And I do have to point out that the pajamas the kids are wearing are popcorn themed, which I love. They love their popcorn.
All right, I am going to talk about our wish journey map, which if you have joined any of our wish wisdoms before, you probably recognize this. This kind of highlights throughout the wish process where staff and where volunteers have a hand in the wish journey. So you can see those teal stars are chapter staff involvement, and then the red stars are where you, our wish granters, are involved in the wish process. Today, our topic of Disneyland, Disney World, and Give Kids the World primarily takes place in wish discovery, wish approval, and wish creation and design. And of course, when they go on their wish for the wish granted portion. But in the discovery process, family might ask questions or you might share things with the family during your discovery visits. And then during the approval process, our wish approval specialist will share more information about Give Kids the World and Disney World or Disneyland with the family at that time. And then during wish creation and design, the wish specialist will work with the family to book any special activities and talk more about what their experience will look like at Give Kids the World if they're going to Disney World or at Disneyland. And the wish specialist also in that wish creation and design portion of the journey will also be booking any special equipment or things that they need for those wishes, which we have kind of special processes for Disney World and Give Kids the World specifically.
Hi, everyone. I'm Elizabeth, one of the wish specialists, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Disneyland wishes. So we started back up with Disneyland wishes this past year after COVID, and they have been really great for our wish families. So Disneyland is in California, and that wish length is 6 days and 5 nights, so same as our general travel wishes. We work with the Orange County Inland Empire chapter in California. California has many chapters because they are so large, but that's the chapter we work with for Disneyland Wishes, and they help to book lodging and get tickets and all of that, and we work with them for those wishes. So they help book lodging at the Disneyland resorts. There's a few different ones, and basically it just depends on availability at the time that the family wants to travel. I've had a couple Disneyland wishes, and they have both been at the Paradise Pier Hotel and Resort, but there are a couple different ones. So it can be kind of any of those in the area around Disneyland. And Disneyland is broken up into two different parks. So there's the Disneyland Park, and then there's Disney California Adventure. And I'll talk a little bit about the differences in a little bit. But our families get a park hopper pass. So after 2 p.m. Each day, they're able to go to the other park, the other one that they didn't start out at that day. And they get 2 days at the parks. So they could do one full day at Disneyland, one full day at Disney California Adventure, or like I said, with the Park Hopper Pass, they could kind of bounce around between the two each day they're there as well. Similar to Disney World, they get a Wish Pass, which allows them to go into the expedited entrance for rides. So just a shorter line. They're able to get in faster with the Wish Pass. There's also a photo pass that comes with that. So there are certain places around the parks where there are people that take like high quality photos that you can download. The family's able to download for free with the photo pass. And then access to the Wish Lounge, which is in the Disneyland park and open for a certain number of hours in the afternoon. It's a spot just for Wish families to be able to go and hang out and relax, grab a bottle of water, sit down, and just have a little break throughout the day, since the parks can get tiring sometimes with all the rides. But so Disneyland, I just wanted to highlight a couple differences between the two in case families have questions. Has kind of your standard like Disney rides and characters that you think of. Plus they also have a Star Wars world as well. And then Disney California Adventure, it's a little newer and it's more California themed. So there's different parts that reference like streets in California or like the ocean and beach and things like that. And they also have Cars World. So if a Wish kid is particularly interested in any of the Cars movies, that would be a great place to check out. And then they also have the Avengers campus. So any Marvel characters that a kid is interested in, that would also be a great place to go. So that's kind of like the main differences between the two. Next slide. So since the families get two tickets for, or like 2 days at Disneyland at those parks, we're also able to have families select one or two other activities to do on their wish, since they have 2 more full days there as well. So I listed a couple of the different park options that are available besides Disneyland. So Universal Studios, Knott's Berry Farm, which is also a theme park with rides, and they have a lot of berry themed desserts, I think. And then a medieval times dinner. So they have like jousting and, you know, full like medieval show and food along with that. And then there's also some other activities that are either free or don't necessarily require advanced tickets or reservations, and those are listed below. But the beach, downtown Disney, a nature center, state park, and the Santa Ana Zoo. One thing to highlight about other activity options is there are certain places that we are not able to book activities at for Disneyland Wishes because they fall into a different chapter's territory. So the main ones that this applies to that sometimes families are interested in is Legoland, SeaWorld, the San Diego Zoo, or different Hollywood studio tours. So if a family is wanting to do any of those things and also Disneyland, it's important to figure out what is more important between them. And just note that, you know, if they, and we can go through all of that with families too, you know, later on in the process as well. But just when you're meeting with families and they're mentioning different things they're interested in doing, it's just good to keep in mind that, you know, if they want to do Disneyland and also Legoland, we just aren't able to do both of those together because they fall into different chapters, territories. And then next slide. So I just wanted to highlight kind of the main differences between Disneyland and Disney World, since they are both Disney, and a lot of times people don't really know the differences between the two, and I didn't really until I started working here. But I mean, one of the big things is just location. So most of the families I've worked with that have wanted to go to Disneyland over Disney World have wanted to do so because they either had family in California or like had other things in California that they wanted to do in addition to like kind of the classic Disney stuff. So that can play a factor. The trip length right now is the same, but like Morgan said in the earlier update, Disney World is changing to 7 days, 6 nights starting in 2024, and Disneyland will remain at 6 days, 5 nights. So that will be a slight difference there. The park attractions are slightly different. So Disney World has 4 parks. They have Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and Epcot. So they just have more rides and attractions in general at Disney World. A couple main differences. So Disneyland has the Avengers campus with all the Marvel characters. Disney World does not have any of those superhero characters. Although Universal Studios in Orlando does have some superheroes, but not all of the Avengers ones. Cars World is also unique to Disneyland, so all of the Cars characters and those themed rides and stuff are mostly at Disneyland. There's like one Cars show at Disney World, but for the most part, not as much. And then the main castle at Disneyland is the Sleeping Beauty Castle. So if a Wish kid is particularly interested in that princess, that's her castle, is the Disneyland one. And at Disney World, it's Cinderella's castle. So again, based on princess preference, there might be a difference in wanting to go there. And then for lodging at Disneyland, like I said, they're booked at one of the surrounding resorts. At Disney World, most of our families, as we'll talk about more too, stay at Give Kids the World, and do have the option to stay off-site at a resort as well, but for the most part, stay at Give Kids the World. And then the additional activities that families can do are slightly different, mostly again depending on location. So at Disneyland, they might want to go to some of the beaches like in California or some of the attractions there where it's Disney World. Maybe they're interested in swimming with dolphins at Discovery Cove, which is right nearby, or Legoland, which is an option at Disney World where it's not at Disneyland. So some of those can vary too. But yeah, those are kind of the main differences between the two.
All righty, we have reached our first question break. So if you have any questions about Make-A-Wish, Disneyland, anything, you can pop those in the chat and we can answer those. I'll give you just a minute. Elizabeth, I didn't know the theme of the castles were based on princesses, so
Yeah.
I learned something.
I don't
fun.
think I knew that previously to working here.
I just thought it was like the Disney castle.
I know, yeah. I just thought they were the same, but they are actually like differently to be like the ones in
right. Any questions in the chat? All right, we'll keep it moving.
Great. I'm going to talk about our Disney World wishes. So just for the purposes of our presentation, I think, the folks that are here, you heard my announcement about the days changing for the trip length. But the folks that will be watching on YouTube later, that will already probably be in effect for most people watching that. So I did put that trip length at 7 days and 6 nights, although currently and any wishes that are booked prior to that will be 6 days and 5 nights. Most of the lodging for our Disney World wishes is at Give Kids the World Village, which Casey will be talking about in just a little bit here. It's really just a really special experience for our families, and a really big draw to Disney World for our families sometimes when it comes down between Disneyland versus Disney World. As Elizabeth said, we are able to book families at um, a different resort, one of the Disney resorts, and we can take requests for specific resorts. We just can't make any guarantees on availability of those resorts like we can with Give Kids the World. So that has happened several times to um, to wishes in the last couple of years. Not very often, but it is frequently with our older wish kids. They don't have as much interest in Give Kids the World, although I will say they have something for everyone at Give Kids the World. So I even encourage, with older kids too, there's definitely accommodations and things for them to do there. But sometimes our older wish kids just have interest in an off property off Give Kids the World resort. So we are able to do that. For our Disney World wishes, I have a breakdown on the slide here of the park tickets that are presented to the family and available. So there's 3 days of tickets to the Disney parks. There's 2 days of tickets to Universal Studios and 1 day of tickets to SeaWorld. There are other tickets available through Give Kids the World for other Orlando theme parks. And those are on Give Kids the World's website, which I put the link there if you're interested in looking at those. I'll read them just briefly, but I think our most popular that are on the list of other tickets are Legoland, the Kennedy Space Center, and I think Gatorland is pretty popular too. Elizabeth, I don't know what you think about that, but the other options, the other tickets that are available are the Crayola Experience, the Clearwater Aquarium, Busch Gardens Theme Park, Boggy Creek Airboat Rides, Aquatica, like I said, Kennedy Space Center and Legoland. So those are also available if that is part of the wish child's what they're interested in doing for their wish. So Elizabeth kind of touched on this earlier too, but Disney World does have more parks than Disneyland does. So they do have 4 main parks. They have Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Epcot, and Hollywood Studios. So each of those parks are very unique and have their own characters and different themes and rides within those parks. The Disney website does a really good job of sharing information about that. So you can always encourage families to check that out when they're, once their wish is approved and they're starting to think about different parks that they want to go to. They're, like I said, all very different. And families do get access to a park hopper, which Elizabeth talked about with Disneyland. But the park hopper allows families to, after 2 p.m., they can switch to a different park. So if the family starts in Magic Kingdom and Wish Kid wants to go to Cinderella's Castle, but in the afternoon they want to do a safari ride in Animal Kingdom, they can use their park hopper pass to then enter Animal Kingdom later that afternoon or evening and be able to do both parks in one day. In addition to the park hopper, they're also given a Genie Pass, and this is a pass that provides the entire family, so it's not just for Wish Kid, but it allows the entire family to get to the front of all of the lines for the rides, which is really nice, so they don't need to make ride reservations, which is something that some people do if they don't have access to a pass like this. So that's really nice for families to have access to, and really cuts down on the wait time. They can just go straight to the front. Another thing to highlight with Disney World is if you go to Disney's website, or if a family's familiar with Disney, or if they just start looking into Disney themselves, they might see that with tickets, they ask that you make park reservations. So that basically means that you would have a ticket to Disney World, and then the day that you're planning to go. So If it's a Monday, you're planning to go to Magic Kingdom, other people who are not on a Make-A-Wish trip would have to reserve the Magic Kingdom park for that specific day. But if they're on their wish and are working with us and Give Kids the World, or even an off-property, another Disney resort, they do not need to make those reservations. So that's something the family doesn't have to worry about, which is really nice. At Disney World, there are some popular activities that we often book for families. We are able to book one experience or activity for the Wish Kid. And you can see I have a list of some of the popular ones, but Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is very popular and happening right now. I believe it starts in August and goes through November 1st. And then pretty quickly after that, they do a turnaround, and then Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party starts. And those events happen after 7 p.m. in Magic Kingdom. They go till midnight, so they're kind of late events. But you do need special like park ticket reservations for those two things. They both have special themed parades and extra activities that are not normally available to the other park goers. So those two are very popular. Character meals are also really popular if a wish child wants to dine with a specific character. Those are very popular. I will say that it's been a slow opening for a lot of our character meals, just as with COVID-19, those did go away as dining experiences and have been slowly reopening, but there are still several different options that are available now, and those are very popular. And then the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, I have to make sure I say that right. That is very popular also with our Wish Kids. And that's been open for a little bit now after COVID, and is a experience where Wish Kid gets their hair done and a wand and a crown, and is part of the Cinderella Castle type experience. So that is very popular amongst Wish Kids also. There's other activities that are available at the Disney parks. Those are just some that are most popular, I would say, within our Make-A-Wish Iowa chapter. Something I would really recommend as wish granters when you're have a family who's going to Disney, and whether this happens after approval or during the wish delivery, if the family has not downloaded the My Disney Experience app, which is available to download on all smartphone or tablet type of devices. You can also log into it on a laptop too. But this app, which is easiest to use on your mobile phone because you're able to link your park tickets that Give Kids the World will give the family to your app. And Give Kids the World does help the family with that, but you're able to hold all of your dining reservations, your tickets to get into the parks. You're able to book your other special experiences outside of what Make-A-Wish is booking for you. So it's really helpful for families to have this app ahead of time. It's also really fun for the Wish Kids because you can actually track where the Disney characters are at in the park, and you can see what time they're going to be at specific locations within the park, and where they're going to be throughout the day too. You can just see them moving around, which is kind of fun. And sometimes we have Wish Kids that are interested in seeing multiple different characters, and this gives them a way to do that. It also has like wait times for rides, which doesn't necessarily apply to them because families can go to the front of the lines. But sometimes we have kids that don't like crowds as much, or just don't want to be around as many people. So you can kind of check the map to see what's quieter in the parks at different times. And like I said, the main purpose really too is to be able to have all of their tickets and other reservations right on that app. So I definitely recommend that. Our Wish specialists also talk to families about that, which is helpful, but something as a Wish granter you can also mention. For the Disney parks, for Disney World, the family will also receive parking passes for all 3 of those parks that I mentioned. So for Disney World, Universal, and for SeaWorld. For Disney, they'll receive a credit card-like parking pass that they'll use to park at those parks. And for Universal and SeaWorld, they'll also receive parking passes for those. So the family will be given those when they arrive at Give Kids the World. And then they do, for these wishes, we do have rental cars for families. If they're not comfortable with rental cars, we have other arrangements that we can make for them. But they will take their rental vehicle from Give Kids the World to the parks, and then they'll be able to use those parking passes without having to pay for that expense. They'll just want to make sure they remember those when they go to the parks, because that will help them get into those parking lots and into the parks. We also have the ability to assist families always with any stroller rentals or anything that they might need for these wishes. But for the Disney World wishes, there are, and I guess the other parks too, there are specific park requirements that some of the strollers and things that come into the parks have to meet. So our wish specialists will work with the family to make sure that we get a rental for them. And these rentals will be in the compliance of what is required from the parks, so that they don't get to the gates and then have to turn around because their stroller's too big for the parks. So that's just something that our team can help with. Something that is very, I think, frequently mentioned or asked by families is if they can bring their wagons with them. I know there's a lot of other theme parks that allow wagons in, but Disney World specifically does not allow wagons. And so if a family were to mention that, and our team talks to families about that too if it's mentioned, but wagons are not allowed in the parks. So that's something that we would work with them to get double strollers or other kinds of strollers that would help them accommodate for storage, and then whatever their kids' needs are. And then I won't talk a lot about the other park tickets that are available to families, because those aren't always necessarily utilized or at the heart of our wishes for Disney wishes. But since families are always given the SeaWorld and Universal Studios tickets, I do want to just highlight a couple of things at each of these parks. So both of these parks are really popular with our wish kids. SeaWorld is available for 1 day of tickets for the family. They have extensive aquariums there. They have different up close encounters for the wish kids. So they have dolphin encounters where it's not necessarily a swim with dolphins experience, but it's an encounter where they can be up close with the dolphin. Believe they also have similar experiences with sharks, and also like a take pictures with orcas experience too, that are all kind of in that category. And of course, they are theme parks, so they have other rides and things available at SeaWorld as well. And then Universal Studios, I would say one of the most popular attractions in Universal Studios for our wish kids is Harry Potter World. You can see the picture that's on the slide. Wish kiddo is in front of the Hogwarts Castle or school. I think that's right. But there's an entire Harry Potter world there, and they have a lot of different special experiences that you can do within Harry Potter World, and that's very popular with our wish kids. Jurassic Park also has a section in Universal Studios, and Marvel's Superhero Island is also part of the Universal Studios tickets, like the parks that are within there. So those are all available for families to experience when they go to those parks. I will say with SeaWorld and those up close encounters and some of the Harry Potter experiences, those would be specific things that we would want to either book for the family as their special activity or provide special funds for that activity if that's at the heart of the wish for the child. So, for example, for Universal Studios, if the wish child wants to go to Harry Potter World and make their own wand, we would want to have that in their wish paperwork during the discovery process so that we can help facilitate that. And I've talked long enough, so I'm going to let Casey take over.
Alrighty. Okay, we're moving on to Give Kids the World. So if you have been a wish granter on a Disney World wish, you're probably familiar with Give Kids the World. This is a village. It's 89 acres of whimsical nonprofit resort in Kissimmee, if I say that right, Florida. It provides week-long, cost-free wish vacations to critically ill children and their families who want to visit Central Florida. Our wish families that travel to Disney World usually stay at Give Kids the World while they visit the parks during the day. And Give Kids the World is truly a magical place where kids may experience swimming, fishing, laser tag, horseback riding, eating ice cream for breakfast, playing the world's largest Candyland game, and many other things that we'll talk about. Alrighty, so each family that visits the village will stay in a comfortable villa, like shown in the picture on the slide. Each villa is 100% accessible for anyone, offers free Wi-Fi and an iron and ironing board, a washer and dryer and laundry detergent, linens and towels, a kitchen with a full-size refrigerator, a stove top, microwave, blender, toaster, coffee pot, you name it, and they got it. Families will also be provided a few snacks and drinks to get the week started for them. And if arrangements have been made for medical rentals or stroller rentals, those will be waiting in the villa when the family arrives as well. And an added bonus to the Wish Kid, kids are offered the master bedroom and bigger bathroom in the villa. Okay, at check-in, families will receive a meal card that is preloaded with 3 meals a day. Families will go to Cafe Clayton or the Gingerbread House to enjoy their meals together. And to accommodate family members with dietary restrictions, chefs at Give Kids the World can prepare gluten-free, vegetarian, and diabetic dishes. Wish specialists from our office can communicate with Give Kids the World for any of these restrictions before the family visits in order to make the village aware. Food from Katie's Kitchen and Mama Mary's Pizzeria can be delivered to a family's villa if they prefer to stay in for a lunch or dinner meal. And then you probably also remember me mentioning ice cream at the introduction of Give Kids the World. There's an on-site ice cream shop that starts serving ice cream at 7:30 in the morning, hence the breakfast, and continues to serve until 9:30 at night. Amongst the many different flavors they serve, they also serve soy ice cream, rice, and sugar-free ice cream for anyone who needs it. Okay, while most families will be visiting Disney World during their stay, there is also a lot of activities back at the village. Some of these fun activities include taking a train ride at the Amberville train station, getting on a horse at Keaton's Corral, taking a ride on Lori's Magical Flight, fishing in the Happy Harbor fishing pond, or going for a swim at the pool. There's also an arcade, putt-putt golf, and virtual reality. There is something for everyone and for kids of all ages, plus the various special events Give Kids the World offers in the evenings. Another activity that I want to mention, and is a family favorite, is the Castle of Miracles. Inside, you'll find a mysterious forest, a wishing well that burps and moos, Rusty the Friendly Guard, a magic tree that makes pillows, and more. And just outside the castle is the wheelchair accessible enchanted carousel. But what makes the castle so special are the thousands of stars that fill the ceiling and adjoining star tower that represent each wish kid that has visited the village. Every Wish kid gets a star to personalize and is helped by the star fairy, who then places the star on the ceiling and then invites the Wish child back the next day to see the star shining above. To help families make the most of their time at the village, here are a couple tips you can share with the families. It is recommended that families go slow during their stay to really enjoy their time. There's too much to see and too much to do that a family won't be able to see and do all of the things. So have them focus on the things that they are most looking forward to. Share the Give Kids the World website with the family. It is at the very top of the slide you're seeing. There is also a Give Kids the World app that can be downloaded to any smartphone. The app has maps of the village, menus, a schedule of events, and many more items for the family to look at in order to prepare. Also, tell families to wear comfortable shoes. Not only will they be walking at Disney World, but also the village as well. And lastly, remind families that they do have to spend all of their time, that they don't have to spend all of their time at the parks. And if they choose to spend a day at the village, there's plenty of activities and things for them to do if they want to stay by their villa for the day. Okay, that wraps up our Disneyland, Disney World, and Give Kids the World topic. Do we have any questions that are waiting for some answers?
Not right
Nothing
now,
yet.
but
That's okay. You know what that means? We just answered them all with our presentation.
I will say I've had several families who have spent the entire day at Give Kids the
Mhm.
World
Mhm.
during their stay to provide the Wish kid like a little reprieve from
Yeah.
going to the parks, and also just because they're very excited about that. And one of the like biggest things that they mention when they come back from their wish is that they're so glad that they did
Yeah.
that, because
Mhm.
it's just such a special place and a
Mhm.
really once in a lifetime kind of
Mhm.
experience.
Yep.
So
Yep.
We do have one question. How far is the drive from Give Kids to
Oh.
Disney?
yes.
I believe it's about like 20 to 25
15
minutes. Yeah, around 20, I would say. The parks, I mean, all of the parks are spread out a little bit, so it kind of just depends on what park specifically they're going to from Give Kids, but I'd say around 20.
Good question.
And it is a very it's a pretty straight shot from Give Kids the World to Disney
Mm-hmm.
on the interstate, I believe is the route for the families.
Yep.
Righty. Well, if there's no other questions, we will wrap this up. So thank you for taking the time to join us this evening. Um, we're excited to offer these Wish Wisdom opportunities and to connect with all of our volunteers and provide you with some of the tools and knowledge to help out our Wish families. The next Wish Wisdom will be on Tuesday, November 14th, and it will look a little differently. Those will be pre-recorded and sent through email, but you will see it come out on the typical Wish Wisdom day. We'll still follow that bi-monthly second Tuesday of every month schedule, but for the next few months, they will be pre-recorded and sent to you virtually. Like I said at the very beginning, we have that YouTube page where we put all of the recordings of Wish Wisdom. So happy to share that with anybody that is interested in seeing our other content. But yes, so for the next 6 months, just be aware that they'll look a little different, but you'll still get those tips from us. And then also, after we close tonight, you will get a survey in your inbox to let us know how you enjoyed this Wish Wisdom and what other ideas you have for future Wish Wisdom. So please let us know how it is for you, and we love to hear your opinions about that stuff. And have a great evening. That's all we got.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right. Bye bye, everybody.